What's going on, YouTube? So I was on YouTube this morning and I saw a video by Alex Becker, who I actually really like. I have a lot of respect for him. I think most of the stuff that he says, in fact, almost all the stuff that he says on his channel is pretty legit, and I agree with almost everything that he says. In fact, I'm working on cutting out caffeine. I'm down like 90%. Gotta give up the last cup because I saw his video a couple months ago, and I think it's super on point. Um, but I think he's wrong about reading books. He posted a video a couple days ago about basically bashing reading books and how it's not the most efficient way to learn. And I really disagree for a variety of reasons. But first, if you look at a sample of super successful people, there's a very, very high correlation between reading books and successful people. I mean, Warren Buffett is the most successful investor of all time, top 10 wealthiest people of all time, and he's notoriously on the record saying that he basically reads 5 hours a day for 60 years. Ty Lopez, super completely other side of the world in terms of age, demographics, and how he made his money, is also famous for reading a ton of books. I think that what Alex is saying in his video, while it's true, if you need to learn a point, reading a book to learn a specific piece of information is not the most efficient way to learn that specific piece of information. But I think he misses the bigger picture with what books are intended to do. Books are not intended to teach you like a formula, like this is how you reduce your body fat. It's like a simple formula, and once you learn it, you're good to go. That's not the way learning really works. I think that's really the juxt of why I disagree with what he's saying and how he's bashing books. The way that humans learn is not learning the concept of something is not the most important aspect of actually learning. Grasping the concept and getting an understanding of the technical aspect of a concept, like if I eat less, I will lose weight. Everybody knows that. It's so simple, you don't even need to learn it. But how are you going to learn a framework by which to actually implement that? That's the hard part, and I think that is what reading does. That's part of why I think reading is so important, is because, like he talks about in his video, it's a series of Nassim is the main author he talks about. He tells you the point in the first couple chapters, and then he gives you like 15 examples. And yeah, that seems maybe inefficient, but the reason that works and that so many people like that is because that's how the brain not just learns the concept, but sees enough aspects of the concept being used in practice, whereby the human brain now says, okay, I've seen this enough. It's been enough repetition. I believed it maybe a little bit, but now I believe it so much that it's either going to be in my subconscious or it's going to be digested in my brain in another method sufficiently whereby I'm actually going to implement this into my life. That's one reason why I think the format of reading is so good, reading books is so good, that format. But the other thing that I think makes it so pervasive with successful people, and this is a huge skill that I think is glossed over by a lot of people, but obviously for sure in Alex's video, one of the hardest things to do in today's age is focus. Focus is the most fleeting variable that, especially the younger generations, because they've been raised with technology, but even older generations, people of all shapes and sizes, focus is now the ability to focus on a single task for long periods of time is quickly becoming the most important skill to have in a world that has no attention span whatsoever. And one of the things that books does for people is it puts them in a quiet space and it forces them to focus for a period of at least a half an hour. For me, I typically read in batches of an hour, somewhere between a half an hour to 90 minutes. And when I have found in my life that when I am reading, and I like to read in the morning, right when I wake up, my mind's clear, I can digest the information. I'm sure everybody's a little bit different. But when I get up in the morning and I read uninterrupted for long periods of time, I have a much higher ability to focus on high level tasks during the day because my brain is more accustomed to staying focused on big picture things, not being interrupted, and getting through tasks from start to finish. So I think that those are the two reasons that, and by the way, all the stuff Alex talks about in the rest of the video about what you should do instead of reading is perfectly valid. I just think that he misses the point. The two main things that I brought up here about where he bashes the books, I think that using the strategies that he talks about with meeting people, going above where you are, going below where you are, super valid. Agree with that completely. I just think that bashing books, you can't meet. A lot of times you can't. I like to wake up early. I wake up at 4 a.m. That's the perfect time to read. I can't have a face-to-face meeting with a mentor at 4 a.m. And getting up right away and watching a YouTube video of a CEO interview at 4 a.m. I've done it before, but for me, the start to my day, that's a little bit too much interactivity. It's much better to be more peaceful. For me, the way I view it is sit down with a book, digest the information, get used to processing information in your own brain as opposed to just having it spoon-fed to you from like a CEO interview on YouTube. Anyway, I want to hear what you guys think. Am I wrong? Do you agree with me? These are just my honest opinion on the stuff that Alex talked about in his video and why he bashes books and why I don't think that his bashing is completely on point. So let me know what you guys think.